Thank you, Katrina. Tēnā koutou. Nō reira a hoko, no Awherika, ki te tonga ahau. Kua hunuku ki Aotearoa, kei tamaki makoro e noho ana. No Amanda Singleton ahau. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Thank you so much for everyone who's attending this breakfast this morning to talk about probably one of the most important topics to be discussed over the next 2 days, diversity and inclusion. I absolutely agree with Margaret, our chair, not just because she's my boss's boss, but because I absolutely agree that while looking at statistics and reporting to the board on the inputs and what we do to promote diversity and inclusion, it is actually time that we move the discourse a lot more towards the outcomes. And I think the outcomes are best highlighted by telling stories. And I want to tell you a few stories of outcomes in Watercare. And I've chosen one of my teams, which is MSN, or the Network Service Maintenance Team, that look after our 9,000 kilometers of infrastructure in Tamaki Makaurau. These guys and girls are the everyday heroes of the people of Auckland. They are out there every single day, 365 days of a year, fixing pipes, fixing leaks, managing wastewater overflows, installing new meters, and making sure that our infrastructure run in a way that you can depend on our water. Their work is very physical. They are really industrial athletes who use their bodies to do the job as much as they use their minds to do the job. And for that reason, as athletes, industrial athletes, we have to take care of them from a physical perspective as much as we take care of them from a training and development perspective. And trust me, we've been trooping out a big array of external providers of how to look after your body, how to do your daily warm-ups to ensure that you don't get injured, because we definitely don't want any of our staff to go home or not go home at the end of the day because they've been injured on the job. And all along, because these people have been positioned, and we've been working very hard on their positioning as those everyday heroes in the community, we've been able to attract a very different profile of worker to MSN than we used to. So in the last couple of years, we've been able to attract anything from teachers to physiotherapists, you name it, a whole range of career backgrounds. And come along a couple of months ago, somebody who used to be a physiotherapist for one of the bigger rugby unions in the Super 15 league. And as a physiotherapist for a team that wears blue, he's pretty quickly established his credentials with the team. And it took Chris, I think, 5 seconds to look at the latest booklet, very shiny booklet, on the right exercises to do to warm up before you start your grueling day, to realize that this is not going to resonate with these brothers and sisters. The slick pictures of a model in Lycra in a very slick gym with a wooden flat surface and steel probe or bars against the wall is not what they used to. That's not the environment where they have to do these stretches. So with his background, he quickly put together a series of only 8 exercises, very simple, that uses the truck that they all have access to hold on to use as a point of support, and that didn't require them to lie on the floor to get the exercise they needed. But because he is a physiotherapist and now a drainage person, he quickly realized that he needed some support to help him package this up and get it to his brothers and sisters in a way that they will consume it or want to consume it to make it effective. So he teamed up with an ex-teacher, James, in his team, who packaged it up, and between the two of them, they started sharing it with the crew, and voila, stretching exercises are being done daily, and I'm happy to say that I'm reporting to my board for the last couple of months, 0 incidents in safety in that environment. And that's been in our business all along, in the team that it supports. A second story very quickly is when the drought dawned, we asked our people to come up with ways in which we can save water as Watercare. Because as you might have noticed, we use quite a lot of water when we had a break to flush the lines to ensure that there's no dirty water in the line. And while the team has come up with some really good ideas, there was really nothing breakthrough until Botau came up with an idea that was really innovative and that saw us saving in the order of 4,000 litres per job every day, and we have quite a number of those jobs every day. The reason Botau was able to come up with a very different solution is because he hails from a very, very small island in the Pacific called Kiribati. Because of the isolated nature of Kiribati, the inhabitants are very much reliant on innovation and improvisation to find solutions to their everyday problems, unlike in a city like Auckland, where it's served up by so many people, and you know, you can just basically look in the yellow pages and find a company that will provide a solution. So here he was, because of the DNA in the people that he is, he was able to think out of the box. In fact, he created a whole new box and came up with a solution that really worked in our environment, to the extent that we've now patented his idea. And the young man from Kiribati will have an influence and impact on the water industry, not only in New Zealand, but potentially worldwide. I think that's an amazing achievement for Botau. And then quickly, my last story, my favorite probably. A few months ago, along came Rangi. Rangi joined the planned meter replacement team. And within her first month, she broke every single previous record of most meters replaced in a day. And you can imagine that there was quite a bit of a buzz in MSN about Rangi, and some snickers about, you know, has anyone checked the quality? And in fact, everyone has checked the quality, and the quality was superb. And so on a day, her manager went out with her to try and uncover, really, her secret. And what he found to be a secret was the fact that she's a woman. And because she's a woman and has much smaller hands than her male counterparts, she was much better able to maneuver the dismantlement and replacement of a meter in a very tight meter box. And it was as simple as that. So you're right, we are currently looking for women with strong hands in the meter replacement teams. If you find any of those, send them our way. So those are just 3 of very many stories I can tell in Watercare across the business. And we have a lot of female, Susie, microbiologists in our lab who are just as phenomenal as Rangi and all the other people that I've mentioned in MSN. So I guess these are just a few stories to demonstrate how through diversity of not only gender, but also cultural heritage and career background, our people have been able to make a difference, a real life difference, in terms of health and safety, innovation and productivity. The trick is, as so many people will tell you about diversity and inclusion, the trick really is to create the environment where they feel empowered to come forward with those ideas and where they feel they can have a voice at the table and bring whatever they have to offer to the bigger organization and, like in Bota's case, the country and potentially the world. Tēnā koutou.